You may be in high school now, you may have been in high school before, or you may have not even entered. But those are some of the best years of our lives. The one thing that we all hate is exams. Have you ever thought about the stress that it brings to us? And maybe for some of us, it may be too much to handle. Think about it for a second. What percentage of students you think that is? Surprisingly, that's 50%, half of us. In the last decade, student suicides have increased by 70%. That's a big number, and the leading cause of that was academic pressure. That's why I thought I could bring light into darkness in this topic and help. This is when I started my project, Project Aculis, with the help of TPA and 1M1B. My main goal is to help students deal with academic pressure. The first step I took in this project was to learn more about it with the help of customer interviews. Through these interviews, I figured out that I wanted to help public school students as they had no program in place to help them with academic pressure. I also figured out that the main stress comes from either self-expectations or parents, and there are many bad effects from academic pressure. There are many implications of stress. It starts with fatigue and anxiety in exam times. This eventually turns into anxiety and depression. This also starts to mess with your hormones, creating hormone imbalances. This leads to things like weaker immunity and less strength in your body. To combat this, I've come up with a little fun abbreviation called BRAIN. B is for breaks, 25 minutes of studies, 5 minutes of breaks. R is to realize that you do face this pressure and should see a professional if you need. A is for around you, talk to close ones. I is for inner health, make sure you still eat and sleep well. And N is to never cramp and always pre-plan your schedules for studying. After gaining basic knowledge on the topic, I spoke to a few psychiatrists for professional opinion. Using all this, I compiled it together into a presentation which I used to take sessions for students in public schools of 9th and 10th grade. I also gave them forms to fill out, and when I read these forms, my heart was filled with warmth when I realized I helped kids deal with academic pressure and made sure they never take any negative steps. My future plans short term include taking more sessions for students and eventually starting clubs to make this sustainable where they can talk to each other. I also want to start a fundraiser for keychains which will have the abbreviation BRAIN on it that students can walk around with and refer to whenever they feel pressure. My long-term goals include spreading awareness to not only students but also parents and teachers through the help of things like awareness camps and social media platforms. I also eventually want to create an app where students can gain tips to deal with academic pressure. I also want them to be able to communicate with college students who've gone through the same and psychiatrists with professional opinion to provide.
Remember, everyone is special and unique in their own ways, and it's not worth losing over things like exams in school. So next time, whenever you find yourself or someone else feeling drained, think of BRAIN. This is Project Aculis signing out. I hope you follow for future updates.